Hi, welcome to my channel. My name's Erin if you're new here. And for today's video, I'm going to be walking you guys through a week of my workouts 10 weeks out. So this week I went to the gym 6 times. So I did a 6-day split. So I did back, shoulders and biceps, quads and calves, shoulders and back, glutes and hamstrings. So I'm just going to walk you guys through my workouts, break down all the exercises I do, and the reps and the sets that I do. Quick disclaimer, everybody is different, so before doing a workout, you should consult a professional and decide if it's right for you. All right, let's get into it. Okay, Mondays for me are back days, which is my favorite day to train, so I'm so excited to share this with you guys. But first, I'm starting off with some deadlifts. We're just doing a warm-up set with 135, and usually I do my warm-up sets for 8 to 10, just until I feel good, and then I'll stop. After I get my warm-up sets out of the way, I have been doing sets of 5 with deadlifts and just trying to go as heavy as I can until I can't get 5 anymore. So after I get all my warm-up sets out of the way, I'm going for my first working set. This is with 225, and I was able to get 5 with this pretty easily, so I just work my way up in weight until I can't get 5 anymore. When I'm doing volume sets, I will use these Credo grips. They're like a knockoff for Versa grips, and I just got those on Amazon, and I will link them in the description for you guys. But when I am working on my deadlifts and going for more than 1 rep, I just don't like my grip getting in the way, so I want to be able to lift as much as I possibly can, so that's why I use grips. After that, I jumped up to a set of 235 because I got my last set for 5 pretty easily. Alright, this is my 4th and last working set of deadlifts. This is 255 pounds and I'm going for 5, but I actually failed on the last one, so I only got 4 up of these. And that is kind of where I aim for my top set to be at, is I either fail the last rep or am very close to failing. You guys will see throughout this video I train close to failure, if not to failure, just so that I really am pushing my body and going for progressive overload each week, and that's how I've made the most progress. So I would really encourage you guys to do the same. For example, here, if your rep range is 5, pick a weight where the 5th one is almost failure and you're hardly getting it up. This last one was not a good rep, so I stopped there. Next, we're getting into some lat pull downs, and here I am aiming for heavy sets of 8. And I'm doing 4 working sets of these lat pull downs. And I forgot to record this, but one of the things I love doing with lat pull downs is a drop set on my last set. So I will do a set of 8, drop the weight, and then do a set of 10, drop the weight again, and finish with a set of 15. Next, I'm doing this chest supported pull down machine. I found that this machine is really good at isolating the lats, and I'm doing this 1 arm at a time. And on this exercise again, I'm aiming for 4 heavy sets of 8. Next, on my back day, usually I will do a close grip seated cable row. This gym did not have that machine, so I kind of made do with what I had. I used these free motion cables, sat on the ground, and set up a yoga mat and attached 2 handles. So here I am doing 4 sets of 8, and I was feeling so strong because we had the cables maxed out on this. Moving on to dumbbell rows, I am bringing this into my hip rather than into my rib cage, and I found that's the best contraction for this exercise. And again, I'm doing 4 sets of 8, and I did smash my finger on this one, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, our next day is shoulders and biceps, so I'm starting off with an overhead press, and I am doing 4 working sets of 8 reps. And this is what I mean by training till failure. Your last couple reps should look something similar to this, where you're barely getting the weight up anymore. All right, next for shoulders, we have a little superset. So I have been loving doing these rope front raises, and I'm going to superset those with dumbbell lateral raises. And here I am just going for sets of 10. And we cannot be neglecting rear delts. So next I'm moving on to this reverse fly machine, and this is my absolute favorite for rear delts. I feel the most mind muscle connection, and I feel like I'm really able to get a pump in those rear delts. So here I am doing 4 sets of 10, really slow and controlled. All right, now that we have a nice shoulder pump, we're moving on to some biceps. So I'm starting off with an easy bar curl. The easy bar was taken, so I had to use a straight bar, but it'll do. And I am going for sets of 8 here. And then I'm gonna be supersetting that with dumbbell curls. And I try to get 10 on each arm. And the last thing for my shoulder and bicep day is some hammer curls. I love doing these as a finisher, and it just gives me a really good pump. So I am doing 4 sets of 10 with these hammer curls. And I'm just keeping my elbows stuck to my side and really feeling that squeeze at the top. And look at the pump we got from this workout. My arms and shoulders were definitely feeling it the next day. Alright, now we have my least favorite day, quads and calves, but we gotta get it done because we want those thunder thighs. So similar to deadlifts here, after my warm-up sets, I am doing working sets of 5, and I do that for 4 sets. So this is my first working set of 5 at 135 pounds. And that was pretty light, so we're jumping up to 155 pounds, and we also got that for 5 pretty easily. Alright, so this is my 4th and last working set. We have 200 pounds on the bar, and I was aiming for 5 here, but I only got 4, and I feel like I could have gotten that 5th rep, but on the 4th one, I felt my hair wrapped around the bar, and if I had to bail, I didn't want to hurt myself, and I also didn't have a spotter, so I just stopped at that 4th rep. After squats, we're moving into a heavy leg press. For my first 3 working sets, I am doing reps of 8, pretty heavy. And then I make my 4th set a drop set. So I am starting with a heavy set of 5, going down to a set of 10, and then finishing off by repping a set of 15. I didn't record my set of 15, but you'll see here, I just unrack the weight and I get right back under there so that I can get that burn in my legs. And by the end of this, you will be dead. Alright, and if you thought that was difficult, we're doing the same thing on the hack squat. I start off by doing my working sets, so 3 sets of 8, pretty heavy, and I like banding the hack squat because I do have pretty bad knee problems, so banding the eccentric part of this movement can help take some pressure off if you're having knee or low back problems, and just make that part of the movement easier for you. And now it's time for our drop set. So we are just doing the same thing we did on the leg press, our heaviest set at 8 reps, dropping the weight, doing 10 reps, dropping the weight again, and going for that last burnout set of 15. If you don't know how to train till failure, I would really recommend implementing drop sets because it is going to teach you really fast how to push yourself to your absolute limit. And if you don't look like this at the end of your set, you did not go heavy enough. Alright, now I have a deathly superset for you guys. So we are going to start off with a sissy squat, and I'm front loading that with a dumbbell. So the next exercise I'm supersetting with is these lunges. So I'm keeping my back foot planted, leaning forward over the front leg, and I am doing 8 reps on each leg. And I just do 4 total working sets of both. Alright, lastly, we have some leg extensions, and to be honest, I haven't really been tracking how many reps I do with these. I just put on a pretty challenging weight, and I go till I cannot go anymore. So you can see these are starting to get difficult for me, and on this last one I didn't quite get it all the way up, so that is where I stop, and that is what I consider failure. And you know we cannot neglect the calves, so we are just doing 4 sets of 12 of these seated calf raises. And that is it for my quad and calf day. I would definitely say this is my most difficult day, so if you can make it through this workout, props to you. Alright, next we have chest and biceps. So I'm doing the same thing I did for my squat and my deadlift. I am doing a warm-up set on bench, and then I'm going straight into my working sets of 5. And for the past couple weeks, I have been working really hard on trying to get 4 sets of 5 with 135. So once I cannot get 135 anymore, I will drop the weight down. And this last rep was really a struggle, but we got it. And I didn't think I'd be able to get another set in with 135, so I dropped it down to 130, and I was able to rep out 5 of those. So this is my last working set. After a bench press, we are moving into an incline dumbbell press, and I am going for sets of 8 here, pretty heavy. And I am having my boyfriend spot me just so he can help me if I need it on those last couple reps, but I do 4 sets of this. Next, for chest, I am using this decline chest press machine that is plate loaded, and I'm going again for heavy sets of 8. And I do 4 sets of that. Next, I am doing these decline cable flies. The most awkward part is getting into it, but I am just pressing these downward towards my belly button, and I am going for 4 sets of 8 here. Next, we're moving on to triceps. This is one of my favorite supersets for triceps. So I am just starting with these kneeling tricep cable push downs, and I am doing 4 sets of 10. After I finish that, I am going straight into these cable overhead tricep extensions with the same set and rep range. And that finishes off my chest and tricep day. My last workout of this week is glutes and hamstrings, which is another one of my favorite days. So I'm starting off by doing this standing abduction. I find that this helps me warm up my hips and get ready for what I'm doing next. So here I am just doing 4 working sets of 10. So next I'm moving into the squat machine. I've heard it called a super squat, I've heard it called a power squat, but whatever you want to call it, I am just doing 4 sets of 8 at this machine. And at this machine, I like to work my way up in weight. So this was my heaviest weight, and I got 8 reps of this, and that was my last working set. Next, we're moving on to some hip thrusts. Sometimes I'll do these with a barbell, sometimes I'll do them with a machine. Today I chose to do the machine. I am just focusing on keeping my chin tucked and my core tight, and I am doing 4 sets of 8 at this machine. Alright, so we're back at this machine again, whatever you want to call it, but this time we're doing a step-up variation. So I am doing these step-ups because I feel like it's easier than gripping dumbbells. It takes some of the load off my hands and puts it onto my legs, and it makes it really easy to stay lean forward. But I'm just doing 4 sets of this, and I'm doing 8 reps on each leg. And this is the first exercise I do in my glute and hamstring superset. So after I finish that, I am moving into dumbbell RDLs, and I'm using a pretty heavy weight, and I just go for 8 reps. And I'm just doing 4 working sets of both exercises. Next, for hamstrings, I'm doing this single leg curl machine. I love this machine that this gym has, but if yours doesn't have it, you can also do a prone leg curl. I am just doing 8 reps on each leg, and I'm doing 4 working sets. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this week of workouts and want me to do another one, let me know in the comments. If you guys want to see more of my prep journey, you can subscribe. I post new videos every single Sunday. And I also have Instagram at Erin_fitness and TikTok at Erin.fitness. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye.